that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
That's right, 1 hour is the judgment come upon this great city of America. Look at, that's why we got to come back and really look at the laws of the Most High. Look at 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Read verse 4 and 5.
2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 4. O Most High, who beareth rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people.
See? O Most High, who beareth rule, thou spakest, these are words that he spoke at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commanded the people, read.
And gavest a body unto Adam.
Gave a body unto Adam, read.
Without soul.
Without soul, read.
Which was the workmanship of thine hands.
Was the workmanship of the Most High's hands, read.
And didst breathe into him the breath of life.
Gave him the laws, the meaning of how to be righteous in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, read.
And he was made living before thee.
He was made living before the Most High. Read.
And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted.
See, he led up him in the paradise which his right hand had planted. Here's who? Hamashiach Yahushua. Read.
Before ever the earth came forward.
Before ever the earth came forward. That right hand is Hamashiach Yahushua. Read.
And unto him thou gavest commandments to love thy way.
So unto Adam, he gave commandment to love thy way. What is that? The commandments. You love me, keep my commandments. Nothing changed. Nothing new under the sun, remember? Read.
Which he transgressed.
Which he transgressed. So don't eat of the tree of good and evil. He transgressed. Go ahead.
And immediately thou appointest death in him, and in his generation, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number.
Through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, through Noah, really, and Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're the seed of Jacob, the children of Israel. All the other nations come either from Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We come from Shem. We don't come from Ham. Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Libyans, the Canaanites, and the Ethiopians. They're the ones that created that so-called Africans today. We come from Shem, 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And every people walked after their own will.
See, every people walked after their own will. Don't it sound familiar? That's like follow your heart, they say today. Read.
And did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments.
See? They despise the Most High's commandment. Is anything different? We're not under the law, we're under mercy and grace. We ain't got to follow the Most High. They despise his commandments then, they despise the commandments now. It's the end of the world. Read.
And again in process of time thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwell in the world.
We just read about the big earthquake, the fiery indignation that's gonna come on this earth. He ain't gonna bring no flood. That's why he put the rainbow in the sky to remind himself that he's not gonna flood the earth. He's gonna bring fire this time. That's the second cleansing element. Two cleansing elements are water and fire. He's gonna bring fire, read. Because they despise his commandments, despise to do what he say do. Go ahead.
And destroys them.
And destroyed them, read.
And it came to pass in every one, in every, and it came to pass in every of them, that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to thee.
That's right. He told them, the day you eat of the tree of good and evil, you're going to die. And he killed everybody but Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, 8 people. So the Most High don't need a lot of people to populate the earth. He populated everybody through Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Let's read.
Nevertheless, one of them thou leftest, namely Noah with his household,
Here we go. He loved Noah and his household. Read.
of whom came all righteous men.
Of whom came all righteous men. Read.
And it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, and were a great people, they began again to be more unrighteous than the first.
See? Once he got all these children, started living lives, Most High bless them, and they started being unrighteous. Then the first. Read.
Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham.
See? Most High had to come down and choose one man. Abraham, amongst all the people that was on the earth. Gotta hear this. Read.
Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed.
See? Most High made this everlasting covenant to this day with Abraham, promising him that thou would have never forsake his seed. Listen at this closely. Read.
And unto him thou gavest Isaac.
So until Abraham, he gave him a son in his old age and Sarah's old age. He gave him Isaac. Read.
And unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau.
So now, he didn't say to Abraham he gave Ishmael and Isaac. He came back and said unto Isaac, he gave Jacob and Esau. Right? Go ahead.
As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee.
So the Most High chose Jacob to himself. Read.
And put by Esau.
And put Esau by. Put by Esau. Read.
And so Jacob became a great multitude.
So Jacob became a great multitude. That's why when people in the church, they try and go to Revelation 7 and 9. They try and go here to say this multitude of people is talking about all nations. It's not. Revelation 7 and 9.
Revelation 7 and 9.
This is after the Most High named 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel, which make up to 144,000. Read.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude.
Wait a minute. What did Jacob become? And so Jacob became a great multitude in 2nd Ezra 3 and 16. So what did he see? In verse 9 of Revelation 7 chapter?
Revelation 7, 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne, and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands.
Right, so these are the children of Israel. I mean, read the next verse. Let's see if we can make it be everybody. So they're going to be clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Verse 10.
And cry with a loud voice,
They're going to
saying,
cry with a loud voice saying what?
Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
So salvation to our power. So who's the Most High to power up? Exodus 3:14. I mean Exodus 3:15. That's right. I mean, these are things, these are clues that we can look at that these people are going to be saying. Salvation to our power. Which sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb, who was Hamashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the
We're in Exodus 3:15.
Exodus 3:15. And the Most High said moreover unto Moses, thus shall I say unto the children of Israel.
To who?
Unto the children of Israel.
Say unto the children of Israel, read.
The Most High power of your
The
fathers.
most high power of your fathers. Here it says in Revelation, our Father. Our power. Right? Go ahead.
The power of Abraham.
Power of Abraham.
The power of Isaac.
Power of Isaac.
And the power of
And
Jacob.
the power of Jacob. Read.
Has sent me unto you.
Go ahead.
This is my name forever. And this is my memorial unto all generations.
See? That's his name forever. Mashiach Abishai acknowledged him as the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Matthew 22:32. And we can't go over this enough because until this sinks into your mind that you can really see this, you can understand that it's still coming back to who? Israel. Read it.
Matthew 22:32. I am the power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob.
There it is. Acts 3:13. That's his name forever and ever and ever.
Acts chapter 3, verse 13. The power of Abraham, and of Isaac, and of Jacob, the power of our fathers, has glorified his son, Hamashiach Yahushua, whom ye delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go.
That's right. There it is right there. So, that'll let you know it's still coming back to Israel. Look at 2 Peter 1 and 3.
Second Peter chapter 1, verse 3. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and righteousness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue.
That's right, man. The wisdom of the Most High, man, is in the word of the Most High. According as his divine power, spiritual power has given unto us. His divine spiritual power is given unto us all things that pertain unto life and righteousness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. Read.
Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises.
Right, we read that in Romans the 9th chapter. The promises coming to who? To Israel. Read.
That by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
Right, we gotta escape the corruption that's in this world through lust. That's a big demon that he's letting us know that's in this world, man, that lust demon. Read.
And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge.
Right, and it says, besides this, giving all diligence. I mean, you holding fast to this. Add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge. Read.
And to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience righteousness, and to righteousness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity.
That's right, charity, love. Read.
For if these things be in you, and abound. They make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our power, Hamashiach
All
Yahushua.
right, that's how you're going to get this wisdom. You let these principles be in you, you're not going to be unfruitful in the knowledge of Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
But he that lacketh these things is blind,
You're blind. You lack these certain principles, you're blind, he's saying, read.
and cannot see afar
You
off.
cannot see into the future. You can't see what's going on. You're not going to see prophecy. You're not going to understand how to actually precept this Bible together. To get understanding. That's how you get understanding through the precept. That's why I'm telling you how to precept. However you've been programmed before, you got to let it go. Read.
And hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins.
And forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Read.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election
So
sure.
you got to get diligent. You got to have a strong hold on this truth to make sure that your calling and election is sure. The only way you're going to do it is be diligent. Every day, in every way, especially when the book is closed. Read that again.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
You gotta be sure that your calling is a righteous calling. Hold fast to it. Read.
For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
See, if you do these things, you shall never fall. Read.
For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our power, Hamashiach, our power and Savior, Hamashiach Yahushua.
Therefore the interest shall be ministered unto you abundantly into an everlasting kingdom. That's everlasting life. That's what we're working toward. Get second Ezra 7. Start at verse 4.
2nd Esdras chapter 7 verse 4. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river.
Yeah. Put this in your mind. Put this case scenario in your mind that the entrance is narrow and like a river. Read.
When then could go into the sea to look?
Then, not when.
Who then could go into the sea to look upon it?
Yeah, because the river leads into the sea. But it's narrow, this narrow river. So who then could look into the sea to look upon it? Read.
And to rule it.
And to rule it. Read.
If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
Well, how can you, if you don't go through this narrow path that he have us going through, how you gonna come to the broad of the everlasting kingdom that's promised to us? Read.
There is also another thing.
There's another thing. Read.
A city is builded and set upon a broad field.
We know that city, we went over the city last night, New Jerusalem. The city is already built. Master Kirashai said he's going to prepare a place for us. Say this city is built and set upon a broad field, a broad area that it's going to land into. Read.
And is full of all good things.
It's full of what?
Of all good things.
It's full of all good things. That's why I say going to be plenteousness for us if we make it. Most High will. Go ahead.
The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance of it is narrow though. Go ahead.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall.
It's set in a dangerous place to fall, people. Read.
Like as if there were fire on the right hand.
It's like fire on the right hand. Read.
And on the left
And
hand.
on the left. What's
And
on
on the left, a deep water.
Yeah, fire's on the left hand. You got to go through this narrow path. Fire's on the right hand. On the left side is a deep water where there's no land where you're going to drown. Read.
And one only path between them both.
Only one path, and that's the truth. And that's the Mashiach Yahushua when he said in John 4.